Is guacamole a fruit salad?
What is the best milkshake for bringing boys to the yard?
Ostriches are dinosaurs.
Don't piss off old people. New game.
What do you mean it gives you Arby's mouth?
Artisanal muck duck balls.
I think they call that autofellatio.
I want to high five a shark.
Welcome to Bar Banter. Relax, have a drink with us as we debate the most controversial topics in the world today.
On today's podcast, we're going to do something a little different. Instead of talking about certain topics, we, myself, Ben, Drew, and Rick, are going to run for president of the Bar Banter podcast. We're all going to either come up with a persona or try to influence each other / you, the audience, on who should be the next president of the Bar Banter podcast. We've got our own kind of platforms we're running off of. We got some crazy questions for our candidates to answer. But before we get into that, our candidates / our participants here are probably drinking something during this debate. So, Rick, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Blue Moon tonight. Just to keep myself centered. Drew, what are you drinking?
I took mine a little bit of a different direction tonight. I wanted to try something new, and a friend of mine went to the local meadery that we have in Roswell, 5-4 meadery, and so I'm drinking a very nice.
I like the Stein.
Chilled mead. Yeah,
Nice.
It's fucking huge. It's really good. If you guys haven't been to it, the place is really cool, actually.
I've tried mead. I can't get myself to like mead.
It's for sure an acquired taste, but I really like it, especially the really dry ones, like ciders. I like those. Benjamin, what are you drinking?
All right, I went wine tonight. It's been a while, and I was in the store the other day and saw this South African Chenin Blanc and realized that it's been a few years since I had a great Chenin Blanc, so that's what I'm drinking tonight. Travis, what are you
Cool.
drinking?
I'm not sure. There's not a name for it. I was really tired. I've been exhausted all day, and I was like, I need to pick me up. So I had a coffee and Bailey's in Kahlua earlier, and I was still tired.
Nice.
So I'm like, I need this monster, but I have to have a drink with it, or I have to like mix something. So someone on the internet was like, yeah, I mixed spiced rum and some Malibu and Monster, and it's really delicious and it's great. And I was like, I'll try it. And so far it's like a C+. It's
Okay.
I will get through it. I may not enjoy the whole ride, but you know what? I'm
Basically
here.
made for Loco.
Yeah, probably. There's a little bit of everything in it, so it's not like I'm drinking an entire Monster with it right now. There's maybe like a third of a Monster can or something like that. But anyway, tonight we have 4 candidates of sorts up for president, and those 4 people, those in whatever capacity they may be, need to introduce themselves and debate. And in order to do that, myself will be moderating said debate as Travis, and I also will have someone that I want to put forward as a presidential candidate. So without further ado, welcome to the first ever Bar Banter presidential debate. Yay, applause. Woo, yeah, this is great. Who wants to introduce their candidate first?
I'll go first. So I'm acting as the presidential candidate's campaign manager, and I'm here to represent Neil Desaad Tyson, distant cousin of Neil deGrasse Tyson, born and raised in South Dakota, grew up with 14 brothers and sisters, parents were divorced, and just kind of rotated the kids from house to house. So to this day, Neil's not exactly sure how many brothers and sisters he has. Tuba prodigy, fell in love with his tuba instructor, graduated with a double degree in digital science and claymation from South Dakota State.
Go Jack Rabbits.
After that, got a job in politics and kind of made his way through, and he's trying to become president of Bar Banter.
I love to hear it. Next candidate.
My name is Paul Walker.
Oh God. Oh God.
Not related to the infamous Paul Walker who died. But a lot of my backstory is based upon the death of Paul Walker. Really was just kind of living life, doing his thing. Loved the series. Always held Paul Walker as like an idol too, because they shared the same name. He was in some really cool movies. Then he died. And there was this theory that came out after he died that it was actually foul play, that somebody tampered with the vehicle because he had secrets that he was going to come forward with about some bad things that had happened in Haiti, where he had a foundation that he was running and whatever, and he was about to go public with them against the current administration at the time. And so they silenced him by messing with the car, and that's why he died in a fire crash. And my Paul Walker had never really been a conspiracy theorist at that time, but he went down the fucking rabbit hole after that. And so he's one of the cool conspiracy theorist people, not the current ones. So he's all about aliens, lizard people, the Loch Ness monster, grassy knoll, men in black, shadow governments, that kind of thing. And he lives in a camper van in the deserts of Arizona. And so he's on an internet campaign right now to become the president of the podcast.
All right. Well, thank you. I guess Paul Walker's advisor, campaign manager.
It's gonna be a mix of first and third person. You're just gonna have to roll with it.
All right. I like it. Yeah. Next candidate. Hi. I'm Vincent. Vincent. That's like Vincent with like a PH. And for too long, people like me have been bullied and trampled over and cast out of all popular circles. And these people need a voice and maybe an inhaler. And I want to use my power as president to address the real issues that are plaguing this world. And although I might be paralyzingly intimidated by her, and I may not have talked to her ever or about anything, and she may not even know that I've nominated her to be my vice president, but my running mate, Anne Hathaway, and I will fight to end stereotypes for nerds and geeks everywhere. Back to you, Travis. Thanks, Vincent. Rick, you want to try to follow that one?
Absolutely. So my candidate is I'm going to introduce him right now. Have him come up to the podium. Hello, everyone. My name is Lukewarm the Fifth, and I'm from Why Not, North Carolina, where our barbecue is just as hot as our takes. Why not? 2023.
Our candidates tonight are Neil deSaad Tyson, Paul Walker, Vincent, and I'm sorry, was that
Lukewarm the Fifth? Why not?
Lukewarm the Fifth.
Lukewarm the Fifth. All right. Well, that is an interesting cast of characters that I don't know if I necessarily want to be the president of this podcast, but that's who we're stuck with. So let's hear them out. Let's hear. I guess what's next is what campaign promises. What's the platform that you guys are running on? I want to hear what you want to make better about the world. Let's start off with, I guess we'll just keep going in that order so the listeners know. Neil deSaad Tyson, what's your campaign platform?
Yeah, again, I'm representing Neil deSaad Tyson. I'm his campaign manager. So he thought long and hard about what platforms he wanted to run on. You know, was he going to run on gun control? Was he going to run on abortion rights? What is he going to run on? So first thing, he's got three major platforms. If elected, kale will be classified as the deadliest poison in existence to all humanity.
Is it hail?
Kale.
Okay.
K-A-L-E.
Oh, kale with a K. I thought you said hail, like ice.
No, kale.
That makes more sense. Okay.
Will be classified as the deadliest poison in existence. Number two, if elected, Neil promises to put a koosh ball back in every household because we must bring fun to millions of homes again. Number three, if elected, all individuals that do not return their shopping carts to the designated areas will receive the death penalty. And those are his three major platforms.
All right. Thank you for that. Neil's campaign manager. I think a lot of people would probably agree with his third point. But before we kind of get into
Wait, hold on. So your slogan is kale, kush, and carts?
Yes, sir.
that's
You're representing the KKK.
Hearts is spelled with a C.
Not in my world.
well, that took a turn. Let's
Sorry, I had to.
Paul Walker, either third or first person. What's your promise to the Bar Banter podcast people?
All right. I want to take the things that we know are just wrong in this world and bring them to light and make changes for the better. So for my first platform, I'm going to ban small talk in all transactional human interactions, like at the grocery store, or when I go to the barber, or when I go to the bank. I don't need to hear about your life. I don't need to hear about what's going on. I need you to proceed with the transaction and let's get this over with and done, because I got things to do and I don't like weird open social interactions with people that I don't know. And I feel like a lot of people feel the same way. Number 2, when elected, not if, I will be declaring open season on all birds, because we know birds aren't real. You will be able to, at any point, any time of day, no matter what, if you see a bird flying in the air, taking photographs and reporting back to the government, you'll just be able to shoot them out of the air. And the last but not least, because I do think we need a little whimsy, I agree with my running mate. I'm bringing back Nickelodeon game shows.
Nice.
The best of the best being Legend of the Hidden Temple, Double Dare, Nickelodeon Guts, Figure It Out, Finders Keepers, the best of the best. And that's going to be really like a training program for finding those individuals that are a cut above. And then we'll use those winners and individuals as people who can run for government and really better the world. So those are my 3 points.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Walker. Vincent, am I saying that right? Vincent, over to you. Yes, that's correct. So first and foremost, we need to replace the god-awful, brutish game of the Super Bowl with something more intellectual, something like the spelling bee. The National Spelling Bee will now replace the Super Bowl on Super Bowl Sunday. Get that game out of here. We don't need it anymore. Second, for all of my allergy brethren out there, we need to take the excess pollen from the south during the springtime and convert it into an alternate form of energy, renewable, sustainable energy. And it's the excess form. It's the all the other pollen. We need to get out of the water. We need to get out of the air. It's just too much. And we can bring relief to millions. And lastly, I vow to force director Ivan Reitman to admit that his hit movie Ghostbusters was in fact a documentary, thus creating a new branch of the military called the Ghostbusters. Thank you. Thanks, Vincent. Lukewarm, take it away.
Why not?
Yes, why not? 23. So again, this is Lukewarm the Fifth, and all of our takes are about as hot as our barbecue down here in North Carolina. So number 1, the thing that I think needs to change is we are no longer going to rely on the outdated system of human spotting. And what I mean is, in the Lord's game of football, we are going to put electronic chips in the football. And so we know where the ball has made it instead of relying on the chain gang telling me where the football made it. We're going to put electronic chips in the football on the field, and we're going to figure out where the ball has made it. Number 2, if you are given a presentation and you say good morning, and then the crowd doesn't respond the way you want to, and you reply with, I said good morning, your presentation is instantly over because we don't need that in the world today. If you think you're that special, I'm going to need you to give a better good morning because as soon as the crowd doesn't respond appropriately, it's a wrap. And number 3, no speed limits on the highways because, again, we are lukewarm, and why not? So no speed limits on the highways. Those are my 3 campaign promises.
All right. Thank you, Lukewarm the 5th.
Why not?
23. All right. So thank you to all the candidates for kind of giving us your platforms and your backstory. We're now going to enter in the debate portion of tonight's debate.
Shit, I broke another string. Don't worry, call Ray over at Rocket Guitar Repair. Rocket Guitar Repair? Rocket Guitar Repair. With over 50 years playing, building, and repairing guitars, Rocket Guitar Repair can get your guitar repaired rocket quick. Call Rocket Guitar Repair at 678-400-3062 or visit rocketguitarrepair.com.
And we're back with the Bar Banter Presidential Debate 2023, getting into the debate portion of tonight's show. We are going to ask each candidate a question. We're going to give everyone 20 seconds to answer the question. And if at the end of the candidates' answers, we can hash it out a little bit if anyone has any real sticking points to the other candidates. So without further ado, Neil deSalle Tyson's campaign manager, which came first, the chicken or the egg?
So I'm going to answer for Neil. He had to run to the restroom real quick. Neil thinks that the chicken came first, mainly because there's so many parts of the egg that can't survive without the chicken. Chicken evolved. Chicken came first. Chicken was there, and then it laid the egg. It kept the egg warm, and then it hatched into a chick. And let's be honest, a baby chick probably is not going to survive. Probably get eaten by a mongoose or something. So it's the chicken.
Thank you, Neil deSalle Tyson's manager, Paul Walker, first third.
There's only one real clear answer to this, and it's Raptors. Raptors came first because they were the original progenitors of chickens, which are dinosaurs, and I will stick to that, and I will die on that hill. And so if we look at evolution, dinosaurs were first, and so there's not much more I can say. It's Raptors.
All right, thank you, Paul Walker. Candidate Vincent. Yes, as an expert in sex, the chicken had to come first, if you know what I mean. All right, that was super fucking creepy. Lukewarm the 5th, take it away. Chicken or the egg?
Yes, I don't appreciate people asking these type of divisive questions because the real question is, why are we targeting middle America? Chicken or egg does not matter. This question is coming from the burger conglomerates that are out there. Ignore the question and go to Chick-fil-A. Why not? 2023.
Strangely enough, that question was sponsored by the Burger King. So you might be onto something. I'm not sure. Any rebuttals? Anyone have any issues with a candidate's opinion? Vincent, yes, you have a question. Yes, my question is to Paul Walker. You mentioned that raptors came first, but we all know that there are some birds that are not raptors and other birds that are raptors, and in fact, chickens are not raptors. So the question specifically said a chicken's not raptors. So what do you think is chicken or egg?
Chickens are raptors. They're 100% descended from dinosaurs.
Do you have proof?
I mean, let's find some websites really quick.
Oh yeah, use the internet if you have to research your answer. You should know.
You're telling me you don't use the internet as a mouth
I
breathing
do,
there.
but I use the dark web.
Okay. All right. I'm not gonna respond.
All right, fair enough. I guess we're moving on. Next question, going to Neil deGrasse Tyson. If elected president, what measures would you take to protect our podcast country? I don't know, from a zombie outbreak.
Yeah, Neil had to go make sure his car was unlocked. Couple things here. Every Halloween, instead of handing out candies, we hand out grenades. And every Black Friday, we give major discounts on comfortable and affordable bite-proof bodysuits. That is why and how we will make sure that everyone is safe, because they can afford to be safe.
All right. Thank you, Neil deGrasse Tyson, his manager. Paul Walker, first, third person. Your question.
Decisive nuclear action. As soon as we know that there has been an outbreak, we release the codes and we take whatever that town, city, country is out. It is the only way to make absolutely sure that the infection does not spread.
Point of order.
Shut
Vincent,
the fuck
Vincent,
up, Vincent.
You can have your time at the end of once everyone's had a chance to speak. Sorry, Mr. Paul Walker, would you like to finish? You're awarded an extra 5 seconds. Fair enough. Candidate Vincent, you have the floor. First of all, zombies are a real threat. I would first have a wave of all bullies that are in the world and send them to fight the zombies. Bullies like Derek from middle school. He was the worst. He stuffed me into a locker, but he removed my shoes first, and he froze them in water in the freezer, and I couldn't get them out. And then another time, he tied my shoes together at gym, and I tripped, and then a ball hit me in the face. And then another time, Vincent, we get it. Okay, so you would just throw bodies at the issue, and you just have them fight the zombie. Yes, that's correct. I would just have an army of real mean people and bullies fight the zombies. Fair enough. Lukewarm the fifth.
Lukewarm the fifth. That's right.
Why not?
Why not 2023?
You have the floor.
Why not?
So we've already solved this problem, and it's through a wonderful child's show, I believe, called South Park. And what you do is you take a bus and you play California knows how to party. And the zombies who are just looking for change follow the bus to Santa Monica, California. And that's how we protect the country from zombies. Why not 2023?
All right. Does anyone have any debates, any sort of rebuttals to another candidate's opinions / answers? Yes, I would like to state my piece now. Yes, Vincent, sure. Go ahead. Yes, candidate Paul Walker said that a nuclear strike would probably be the best.
This dude is coming after me.
Best way to attack a zombie, and we know from the biographical novel World War Z that nuclear arms are not effective against zombies, and that they will continue their rampage across the globe regardless of the nuclear radiation. The initial explosion might take out a couple hundred or so, but the radiation and they'll just get back up. You got to destroy the brain. You got to go straight. So you got to send in some brainless, mindless jerks to take them out. And that's where I stand. Great. Cool. Thanks, Vincent. Paul Walker, would you like to respond to Vincent's claim?
I would love to, actually.
Please go ahead.
That's why I said decisive nuclear action. We're the government at this point. We know what's going on. You know, there's shadow government. They've got everything locked down. They know when zombies break out, and it's happened before. You know, it's happened before. And when we are notified, as soon as we know that there's been an infection, we nuke the entire fucking city. And those nukes do not kill just a couple hundred people. Those nukes are city busters. They take out 100 miles in every direction. And I want to know, honestly, how your
Mr. Paul Walker, I believe
that's
your time. Thank you.
Goon squad.
Mr. Paul Walker, that is your time.
is
You have-
going to not get
Mr.
infected
Paul Walker,
if you send a bunch of
I will hold
mindless,
you
brainless
in contempt.
meatheads.
You were
They're
awarded
going
no
to get
point.
infected and just contribute to the infection of the rest of the
Mr.
planet.
Vincent, you do not have to answer that. We will continue on. Were there any other debates, any other things that needed to be pointed out? I think Neil deSalle Tyson's manager had a point.
Yeah. Neil wanted me to ask Lukewarm. Let us know if you ever want to go all in on a conspiracy theory writing, because Neil is loving your positions. So you might think they're fact, I might think they're conspiracy theorists. You know, we can both create something wonderful.
I just want to say that the biggest conspiracy theory is this graphic that's telling me in 2022 that Safeway is the most popular grocery store in Florida. That is incorrect. It's got to be Publix. Zombies have clearly already started taking over, saying Safeway is the most popular grocery store in Florida.
What happened to Piggly Wiggly?
That's Alabama, first of all. Ironically, Alabama also apparently Safeway. I don't know what Safeway is, but why not 2023?
All right, moving on. This next question was actually a fan question. Someone wrote in this question. The fan's name is, and I think I'm saying this right. The fan's name is Notorious B.I.G. Notorious B.I.G. asks, damn.
Also killed by the government.
Damn. What happened to summertime cookouts? Neil deSalle Tyson, the floor is yours.
Yeah, this is Neil's campaign manager. Neil had to take a shit real quick. So Neil's answer, what happened to summer cookouts, was summertime sadness happened in 2012. Fuck you, Lana Del Rey. That's his answer.
That is a well thought out and complete answer. Thank you. Paul Walker, first, third person. The floor is yours.
So summertime cookouts, made popular in the 50s and 60s, were originally an exchange of information by Russian sleeper cell agents. They would get together and talk about everything they'd been doing. And then the government in the 70s and 80s started replacing all the birds with robots that could spy on them. So the reason that summertime cookouts died out is because they were trying to save face and not be exposed anymore. It's a good thing that summertime cookouts do not exist anymore. We have basically stopped these sleeper cells from being able to.
Thank you, Paul Walker. Vincent, the floor is yours. Yes, I, for once, actually agree with my opponent, Paul Walker. I am very glad that summertime cookouts have ended. It is too hot. It is too sunny, and I have to apply sunscreen like every 10 minutes because my skin just like drinks. Doesn't absorb. It's like drinks sunscreen, and I always get sunburned. So I'm so glad summertime cookouts are ending, and I will make sure that if elected president, they will continue to not exist. Thank you, Vincent. Lukewarm the Fifth, the floor is yours.
Yes, well, Lukewarm the Fifth's Family Barbecue obviously sponsors summertime cookouts, but the biggest thing is Mr. Play It Safe is the one who would attend these cookouts, and he was afraid to fly, but he ended up packing his suitcase and he kissed his kids goodbye, and he waited his whole damn life to take that flight, and the plane crashed down, and he thought, well, isn't this nice? And it's ironic, don't you think? And that is what happened to summertime cookouts. Why not 23?
All right. Good to know. Thank you for that story. Going back to Neil deSalle Tyson, back to our normal questions. Fuck, marry, kill. Chris Pine, Chris Evans, or Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, this is Neil's campaign manager. Actually, I see Neil coming. No. Sorry. He got his hand stuck in a pickle jar. All right. So fuck, marry, kill. Neil wants to fuck Chris Hemsworth, the long golden locks. He feels like he's close to a woman. Plus, he's nice, big, and muscular. So he's got those big boobs. Boobs. He's going to marry Chris Evans because he's Captain America. He's going to treat you nice. He's going to take you out dancing. He's probably going to cook you dinner. And then, he's going to live to fucking 150 or whatever it is. So, nice husband there. And you're going to kill Chris Pine because even though he was Captain Kirk and I think he played a secret agent, he was never a superhero like the other two. So he's probably the easiest to kill.
All right. Thank you for their probably way too much information. But anyway, Paul Walker, you have the floor.
None of the above. Because they're all lizard people. We know this. It's factual. There are many websites where you can find documentation on the fact that most of the A-list celebrities out there have been replaced or were lizard people to begin with. And why would you ever want to fuck, marry, or play this game about anybody that is a lizard?
Not the
person?
Illuminati.
So, different organization that goes against the lizard people.
Excuse me,
to collaborate
if we want
in
guys,
some aspects of their shadow
if we
government.
Want to debate these answers, we can do that after everyone's had their turn. Thank you, Vincent. The floor is yours. Again, somehow Paul Walker and I have the exact same answer. I do not want to fuck, marry, or kill either of those Chris's because I would only want to fuck, marry, and kill the superior Chris, which is obviously the handsome and talented Chris Pratt. That is the only Chris for me, and that is the best Chris of them all. He controls dinosaurs, and he's also Mario, and I think he's another character that I can't think of. He's not Batman. He's the Lego character. So he's clearly the best Chris, and I want to fuck, marry, and kill Chris Pratt. Again, Vincent, can't thank you enough for being here. That is an answer for sure. Lukewarm the fifth, the floor is yours.
Yes. So Lukewarm the fifth, our opinion's about as hot as our barbecue. I'm gonna have to kill Chris Evans. He just doesn't do it for me. Chris Hemsworth, I'm gonna fuck him because he seems like a good one night stand. And Chris Pine is gonna be my boo thing. I'm gonna marry him because why would you not want to marry what's his face that does the starship thing? Real in charge.
He's got those eyes.
Yeah, he does. Anyways, why not 23?
All right. Thank you, Lukewarm the fifth. Our next question is another fan question. This one brought to you by Panic at the Disco. They ask, haven't you heard of closing the goddamn door? Neil Desaad Tyson, the floor is yours.
Yeah, it's Neil's campaign manager. So Neil has not heard that. He grew up in a barn in South Dakota. So he has not heard about closing the goddamn door. And that's all Neil has to say.
All right. Thank you, Neil. Paul Walker.
The truth is, we should be leaving the doors open because the common misconception is that you may have heard it from your dad that you're air conditioning the entire neighborhood. This is propaganda from the government that they heard as a child. And actually, if we leave the doors open, it could actually cure global warming. And it would bring the average temperature down by about 3 degrees globally. And that would really,
I'm
help
sure that entire statement is factual.
Factual. Yeah, I got a website to back it up.
Candidate Vincent, your answer. A fucking what? All right, that's an answer. Sure. Lukewarm the fifth. The floor is yours.
Yes.
All right, Lukewarm the fifth says yes. The floor is now open to any candidates that would like to debate other candidates.
Mr. Lukewarm. Mr.
Yes.
Lukewarm
the fifth. Our opinions are as hot as our barbecue.
Sorry, I apologize. Lukewarm the fifth. Could you elaborate?
That was exactly what I was going to ask.
Yes, I have heard of closing the goddamn door. What are your questions?
All right. Nope. That's all I want to know.
All right.
Yes, I would like to ask Neil Desaad Tyson's manager a question. The question was, haven't you ever heard of closing the goddamn door? And you replied with that he grew up in a barn in South Dakota, and barns are notoriously famous for having doors. How is it that your candidate, your the person that you're representing has not heard of even
I'm
doors?
notorious for leaving doors open.
But
mean,
you
that's
said he
that's
didn't
how
even
the
know what
saying
doors
goes.
was.
No, I said he's never heard of closing the door.
So you just leave the barn door open
Just leave it open. That's how the saying goes.
and you just let it all fly out, all for everyone to see.
Yeah, man. Open book, open haystall.
Open fly. Okay.
Sure.
All right. Weird interactions there. I believe there was a question from Paul Walker.
I just want to ask Vincent, are you attacking the campaign manager's socioeconomic upbringing? Maybe they couldn't afford
As a matter
doors.
of fact, I am. I do not believe
So you hate poor people.
I hate anyone who is not of my similar mindset, and that is a lot of people. So I'm really going to attack probably everyone on here because you're all wrong, and only my opinions are correct.
You agreed with me twice already.
I'm putting you on the front line against the zombies. I don't appreciate the bullying. Okay, enough. All right. Next question. Candidates, under your administration, would you allow Furbies to be implanted with artificial intelligence? Neil deSaad Tyson, the floor is yours.
Yeah, this is Neil's campaign manager. Yeah, Neil was going to come and answer this. He's in the middle of making cupcakes for everybody. I wanted to talk about what he said.
Ooh.
Yeah, man, chocolate with strawberry frosting.
Are they allergen free?
What the?
Are
No.
they allergen free? God
No.
damn it.
Fuck you, Vincent. You can't have any.
Full gluten. Full gluten.
So if there were 4 platforms for Neil to run on, the 4th would be fuck no to Furbies, because honestly, they remind him too much of Gremlins. And then the last 25 years of cinema, toy soldiers like Chucky, we have been told to not let toys come to life. I don't care if it's a Furby, a Tamagotchi, or whatever the fuck it is. Toys do not come to life. We have been told. That's it.
All right, that is a take for sure. Paul Walker, the floor is yours.
The truth is, much like zombie outbreaks, we know that this has already happened. Why do you think Furbies are no longer on the market as a toy that comes out? Yeah, you can buy them on Amazon or eBay, that kind of thing, but they've been deactivated. Hasbro, the company that makes these toys, is an arm of the government, the shadow government, and they use these toys to conduct experiments on children. And I mean, just look at some of their best sellers. Fucking Play-Doh. Oh my God. My Little Pony, Transformers, Nerf, all of these toys which are used to coerce and train our children to do what the government
That
wants.
is, again, great answer, I guess.
I watched a YouTube video.
Sure. Candidate Vincent, the floor is yours. Yes, my Furby army, equipped with artificial intelligence, would end up creating an entire spy network to root out all jerks and let us know when the newest Yu-Gi-Oh cards were available. But I promise all of my constituents that they would not have any cameras in them whatsoever, and they would definitely not be strategically placed in the women's locker room. Would never do anything like that whatsoever. Just for like Yu-Gi-Oh cards and saying bye to jerks. Nothing weird or any. Yeah, we get it, Vincent. That's great. Okay, Lukewarm the Fifth, you have the floor.
No, Travis.
Straightforward. Candidates, any rebuttals?
I got one for Lukewarm.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Can you do me a favor, Lukewarm? That was a little heavy of an answer. Next time, can you lighten it up a little bit?
Yes. Lukewarm, where our opinions about as hot as our barbecue.
All right, that was a welcomed, polite interchange. Thank you, candidates. Anyone else? I believe Paul Walker had something, and then I think it was just to rebuttal Lukewarms. Is that it?
Bucky Vincent.
No, actually, Neil's campaign manager kind of cleared it up for me.
Perfect. Great. Next question. Traditional currency is in flux with the rise of cryptocurrency. What, in your opinion, will be the currency of the future? Neil Desaad Tyson.
Yeah, this is Neil's campaign manager. Neil was bringing out cupcakes for everybody. He tripped, he fell, he splattered him. So now he's making churros for everybody. But I'm gonna go ahead and answer this for him. Cryptocurrency. Yeah, it's kind of going on now, but it ain't gonna last too long. The true currency of the future is TP, is toilet paper. We're cutting down trees. We're running out of trees. We're running out of pulp. Sooner or later, the government's going to have nothing but tree farms everywhere, and they are going to have all printing and creating abilities for all toilet paper across the nation. So, yes, we will be trading in TP.
That again, an answer. Paul Walker, the floor is yours.
We all know that civilization is going to collapse eventually. And if anybody has seen the hit TV show Jericho, we know that the currency becomes information and goods at that point. So I think eventually, cryptocurrency only exists on the web. Once the World Wide Web does dissolve and we can no longer keep the lights on, it's just going to be us talking back and forth and trading, batteries and the bottle caps and Taco Bell sauce packets back and forth for the things that we need to live our lives.
All right. Thank you, Paul Walker. Vincent, the floor is yours. Excuse me. It's Vincent. And you have to say it like you're sneezing with the PH. Vincent with a PH. Okay. Candidate Vincent, the floor is yours. Yes. I say we turn back the clock to a much simpler time, and currency should be mobile phone minutes. And then that way, the people in charge, the people with the biggest brains, give out mobile phone minutes to the people who have equally intelligent brains, and they will finally have a voice over those stupid jerks that keep putting me in a locker, and we won't employ them, so they won't get any phone minutes, and they won't have a voice anymore. And I just, okay, we get it. You were mistreated in like middle school and you're bullied. It's fine. Just settle down. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, mobile phone minutes. Thank you. Lukewarm the Fifth, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So we all know that we have BC and AD as a way to tell time, but that is a lie, and it should be BK and AK, meaning before Kevin and after Kevin. So the currency of the future will be dirt, just like in Waterworld, where the prophet Kevin Costner showed us the way. So currency of the future will be dirt. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Lukewarm the Fifth. Any rebuttals from any candidates? It's been a little quiet. Yes. Paul Walker, actually.
I would like to ask Vincent a question. Actually.
Yes, go ahead.
How do you feel about free nights and weekends?
I don't think that I think that the nights and weekends today belong to the jerks and the bullies, and I don't want them to have anything for free. They need to work for it. So I want them to have no free nights and weekends. All right, that's it. Great. That is a response. Sure. Any other? Yes. Lukewarm the Fifth.
Yes. I follow up for Vincent. Are we saying
it's Vincent? It's Vincent. Do not use the V. It's Vincent.
Yeah. For the nerd in the back. Are we saying that the currency is the card that we use, or is it the minutes? So if I talk on the phone, do I lose money? How does that work?
Yeah. That is a great question. It is actually the minutes itself. It's not just the card. So if you use the phone, if you use your voice to talk on the phone, you are losing currency. So the jock, the quarterback, can't talk to his girlfriend because he doesn't have enough minutes, because all the smart and intelligent and awesome people have all the cell phone minutes because they deserve them. Great. Thank you, Vincent. Any follow up with that? Lukewarm.
Yeah, just Mindy, don't vote for Vincent. You talk too much to your sister. Thank you.
Waterworld.
Excuse me.
best,
Excuse me.
worst historical-
Campaign manager, please
Oh,
address
whoa.
who you're speaking
I-
to first, and then ask your question.
I'm speaking to everyone.
You just said
Off it.
Waterworld.
You better not miss.
Yeah, so I appreciate what Lukewarm said about Waterworld.
Thank you.
I do think, and I think it's because I'm quoting Lukewarm that my Southern accent is going to come out a little bit here, but it's the best worst movie, and Kevin Costner, the best actor probably of all time. We all know Waterworld was historically accurate, so Lukewarm, I appreciate your stance.
Realistically accurate, but yes.
I'm so lost. All right, great. Wonderful. Last question. And this comes from another fan question. It's our last one of the day. His name is, I guess his handle, whatever that is just Pinky. I don't know what that means. But he asks, if Jimmy cracked corn and no one cared, why did he keep doing it? Neil Desaad Tyson, the floor is yours.
Yeah, Neil forgot to give me an answer for this one. This is his campaign manager talking. I'm going to say that Neil probably would say that Jimmy didn't care that no one cared, so he just kept doing it. I got nothing.
All right. Paul Walker, floor is yours.
Yeah, Jimmy's obviously an alcoholic, and the corn that is referenced in this is, corn whiskey. And honestly, he was kind of abusive, and people just kind of left him alone and didn't really want to talk to him. So I think that they just decided, just let him kind of do his thing and not be bothered by everybody else.
All right. Thank you, Paul Walker. Candidate Vincent, the floor is yours.
Yes, to my knowledge, corn, there really isn't a pervasive corn allergy per se. So I quote one of my favorite people, and I say, let them crack corn.
Thank you, Vincent. I think that was a weird reference to a historical figure that said something about cake, but sure, we'll run with it. Lukewarm the Fifth, the floor is yours.
Andy, who's Jimmy? I don't know, no Jimmy.
Are you saying you don't care?
Who's Jimmy? Is it James? Are we talking about James?
Jimmy.
You know James?
I don't know Jimmy.
Fair enough. All right. So that
I like cornbread.
That concludes the debate portion of our debate. Candidates, thank you again. It is now time for closing remarks. We're going to start off with Neil Desaad Tyson's manager.
Yeah, this is Neil Desaad Tyson's manager. Neil wanted to be here for these closing remarks, but he couldn't make it. So Neil wanted to let everyone know that whenever he hears you guys talk about life is hard, he wants everyone to know that compared to what?
All right. Thank you. Paul Walker, your closing remarks.
I think it's clear with everything I've said today that my goal as president will be to unearth the secrets that are under every rock in this confederacy or podcast or whatever the fuck we want to call it. I do think, however, though, I need to officially take myself out of the running. And I will be backing Neil deGrasse Tyson's campaign manager as the candidate for president.
Neil deGrasse for the campaign manager.
Excuse me. Yeah, excuse me. This is very unprecedented. Are you telling me that you're backing Neil Desaad Tyson himself?
Desaad Tyson, sorry.
Or are you backing?
I don't know if you guys have noticed throughout the podcast or this debate, but I've been drinking.
Yeah, we all have. Are you back? Wait, so inquiring minds need to know: Are you backing Neil Desaad Tyson, the person, or are you backing Neil Desaad Tyson's campaign manager as president? Because those are two different people.
No, absolutely. His campaign manager, whose name I don't know, but everything that he has said up on that stage tonight, I have just 100% vibe.
Ladies
with.
and gentlemen.
And I believe that he is the best.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is unprecedented. We have potentially a 5th candidate in the running. Neil Desaad Tyson's campaign manager, name not revealed to us. So we're just going to go with that. So there is now a 5th option on the ballot when you go to vote. So thank you, Paul Walker. Candidate Vincent, do you have any closing remarks?
Yes. Yes, I do. My running mate Anne Hathaway, who is just everything. She's my everything. She doesn't know this. She's never met me. I want her to meet, but I don't think I'd be able to. My saliva would all dry up, and it would be awkward. But if you're listening, we would just only bring good to the world and to this podcast. And we want to rid out all negativity and all bad things like bullies and PE and physical activity of any kind and anything that's not super cerebral. And we get it. You're not going to win. Next candidate, Lukewarm the 5th. The floor is yours.
I just want to take this time and settle the most important question that's out there that no one has been willing to bring up. And that is, we need to rank the barbecue. And so number 1 is obviously Carolina barbecue. Number 2 is Memphis style barbecue, followed by number 3 is the Midwestern style of barbecue, followed by number 4 is Texas. Thank you. Why not 23?
And thank you, candidates, and thank you, listeners, for if you made it this far.
I thought we did that.
Bless you. Thank you. Bless you. What the fuck just happened?
I've been thinking about that closing remark since maybe like the second time Ben said that it was Neil deGrasse Tyson's, or deGrasse Tyson, whatever his name is, manager was answering questions for him. I was like, at the end of this, I've got to back him. I have to.
That's so good. That's so good. And Rick, the Jenny, I believe, calling your wife.
Oh my
calling
God.
your wife
Inspired.
Like that was
inspired.
Like that was awesome. And for you listeners out there, he didn't look at us when he called to his imaginary.
He actually looked
away
around in his apartment.
So good. And there's no one else there, so that made it wonderful. Guys, I thought this was different. This was fun.
It was good.
I think next time when there's another election in a week and a half to 3 months, I don't know, this could even be better. And I loved that we all took this slightly different.
Agreed.
Like, that made it so much better. If we all came up with just a character like I did, say, it wouldn't be as fun. But Ben, you speaking on behalf of someone awesome. Drew, you being Paul Walker, but not Paul Walker at the same time. Awesome. Rick.
But also notice I said it was going to be first and third person and did the entire thing.
Oh yeah.
Proud of you. Proud of you for it.
Hey, Paul Walker, first and third. I appreciate the support.
It was good.
It was good.
Can I be your running mate? Because I really do want to.
Actually,
government conspiracy.
Actually, Neil was coming out. He stubbed his toe, but I was going to speak for him. He was going to tell everyone that he's declined his candidacy and he's going to support his campaign manager. No
Nice.
And before we move on, I don't know 100% when this episode is going to air, but I can't not mention one thing that happened on Twitter. The Bar Banter podcast Twitter put out a question to the universe: which gas station has the best food? A lot of people from the South mentioned QT. I think everyone on this podcast would agree QT is, if it's not one, it's definitely top 3. There was an overwhelming number of responses for, let me pull it up, obviously, I think you guys have all heard of Buc-ee's. That was mentioned a bunch. So thank you for
Overrated.
Agreed.
Akirus Tidit. I don't know how you pronounce that. At Sovereign Milk mentioned Buc-ee's. We had Professor Steve, teacher / poet, mentioned Buc-ee's. So thank you guys for chiming in. But the one that really just kept coming up, and Rick, you may know this one because I believe it's something out in your current neck of the woods, is so the other one that came up several times from Big Drink Energy podcast, not Big Dick Energy podcast, Big Drink Energy podcast, was the one that I think I talked to the most, was something called Sheets. That is, I believe, something in the Midwest. It has a lot of variety, and apparently their pizza itself is something that is highly regarded, and that is something we need to find and we need to investigate. Beloved in Red mentioned actually Sheets and QT. So lots of votes for Sheets. And Casey's also has apparently amazing pizza. The Wild Troublemaker mentioned Sheets. Like, I don't know what the Sheets gas station is.
Yeah, I need more information.
I don't know.
Guys, post more information about Sheets. I'm curious.
They're a thing. I'm looking at the website.
Never heard of it. Tell me more.
We'll have to do our own research, or Twitter will have to do the research for us. Thank you all to whoever did comment on that post. It kind of blew up a little bit, so thanks.
Keep going.
Keep going. We're gonna keep asking questions, and we're gonna keep getting your opinions, even though they don't necessarily matter. Again, if any listener is still here, kudos to you.
This might be our last episode.
If we had any sort of budget, I'd send you something to like a pin or a sticker. I don't know. But we don't. So you just get a thumbs up that you can't see.
I'll buy you chips next time we go to Willie's.
Yeah, because they're free. I see what you did there. We're on the Twitter at _barbanter. Something about an Instagram, something about a YouTube. Again, gotta update them at some point. Life is hard, life is busy, so they're a little stagnant. Twitter's active though, so just send us, not me, definitely not me. Send us some ideas, or don't. It doesn't matter. Because just remember, this is our podcast, and you're just along for the ride.